Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of James Bond Bitcoin Live 00132. Hashtag partnership. So it's good to have a partner these days. Seems to make you richer, creates a lot of hype, even a lot of speculation. So, anyways, let's go over the notes section here. These are the things I'll be talking about today. Bond trading view. List of top 55 coins and tokens compared to Bitcoin percentage and all-time high flagged for shorts. Basically, I create a list of tokens or cryptocurrencies flagged for shorts, and hopefully you'll get more Bitcoin from your altcoins. Anyways, I had somebody, let me see, who did I have today that gave me this comment? Let's see here. I believe it was, sorry, I'm just going through the notes here. Broadhurst Gardens gave me this link to a Twitter, and it's a little video meme, and I'll share that today. That's in the notes section. It's called Bitcoin's First Day. I'm assuming Bitcoin's first day on the futures. And then IOTA clarifies it has no formal partnership with Microsoft, with a little update to it. This is basically what I'm talking about for today. Anyways, also in the notes section here, another thing I'll be talking about, this article here. Bitcoin fans are liars or dupes, says Forbes author. So this is going to be interesting. I actually have the link to the article itself. This one, Bitcoin fans are liars or dupes, says Forbes author, is coming from Bits Online. The actual source of the article is titled 7 Lies Bitcoin Fans Tell Themselves and Everyone Else Who Will Listen. This is Jason Bloomberg, writes for Forbes there. We'll go over that as well. We'll go over each one. Let's see how true they are or how false they are, and just give you my perspective. Next in the notes section is the Supreme Court of Greece decided to extradite the alleged administrator of the Bitcoin exchange BTC-e. If you haven't heard it yet or don't know about it, this particular story, Alexander Vinnik was arrested in Greece, alleged to be the operator of BTC-e, now the defuncted or seized by the FBI online cryptocurrency exchange. So anybody who had any kind of money, cryptocurrency on that exchange, basically had it seized by the FBI. Not all of it, but most of it. At least 45% of it. Anyways, let's continue on in the notes section here. I got some other useful links here. Coinspectator, real-time cryptocurrency news aggregator. I got CryptoPanic is a news aggregator platform indicating impact on price and market for traders and cryptocurrency enthusiasts. You got to keep up to date. You know, if you miss some good news, or you know, if you got to receive some you know, reliable news. And unfortunately, there's a lot of FUD. Well, I wouldn't even say FUD. I would just say straight out lies and over exaggerations about some of these cryptocurrencies, like IOTA. I actually knew or had suspicions that IOTA, in partnership with Microsoft, was pretty much exaggerated or a straight out lie. But anyways, just waiting for positive confirmation from the news sources. The next in the note section is all the potential fake forks, hard forks, joke forks, real forks, already forked, and potential hard forks of Bitcoin. First, I have the "It's time to stop" meme. I have a link for that. It's time to stop with these hard forks. Bitcoin Uranium is one potential. Let's see if it'll actually. I think it's really a joke fork or a joke on the bitcointalk.org forums. But let's see if we can find someone gullible enough to actually pick up on this. Bitcoin Cash Plus, which is in January. Bitcoin Classic, which is already a continuation of a fork that hard forked, which would be Bitcoin Cash. Super Bitcoin, Bitcoin Diamond BID, Bitcoin Diamond BCD, which both of them already forked, and Bitcoin X BCX, another potential fork coming here real soon. And apparently there is also Bitcoin God, which is supposed to be forking on December 25th. And then recently I've heard people talk about Bitcoin or United Bitcoin. What I know about it is basically United Bitcoin is a scam. I'm not even sure if it's really started by Jeff Garzik. Um, so that's what I've heard. That's why I haven't really listed it on in this section here. But other people are talking about it, so we'll see how it pans out. It's already forked, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago, but I haven't heard any news on it whatsoever. No one's really supporting it. Again, I think it's a scam. It's a joke or a troll, really. Not even really worth talking about, really. But anyways, I talked about it. And then, of course, a list of airdrops, cryptocreed.com/airdrop for all of those people who love to receive free money falling from the sky. All right, and then next in the notes section here are some useful links that might help you navigate through all this. And who knows, it actually may be very informal for you and actually help you make some money. SegWit charts, if you want to know the SegWit adoption or usage. Coin Codex is a listing platform very similar to CoinMarketCap. LiveCoin Watch, another listing platform. Probably my favorite, actually. I really enjoy that. And CoinGecko, another listing platform, but it lists developer participation along with community participation. So when you buy into these coins, you got to remember all these altcoins and tokens are nothing more than a money grab, a pump and dump, a scheme. Some people even say a scam. But some of them may be useful or may have a community. You should probably invest into the coins or tokens that actually have developers that are working on the project, and also a very strong community to back up the project as well. Because in the long run, that token or cryptocurrency is probably going to appreciate in value versus these other altcoins that are nothing more than pump and dumps. BitInfo charts, very useful site. It doesn't have all the coins, but it does have pretty much the most what I would consider probably the major coins and tokens, and you can compare their blockchains, their hashing rates, their transaction volume, their block times. Probably the real information you need to know when it comes to putting money into some of these coins if you're going to be supporting them. And Joho's mempool statistics, that is a graphical representation of the mempool. It's very helpful because it should tell you what fee Satoshis per byte to use if you're really interested in getting your transactions into the next block. And then Sloam.io, that is also another listing platform. And it's very unique because it measures social media volume, and along with the price of the cryptocurrency or token. It also has a list of ICOs actually coming up, if I remember. which could be useful. I think most of them are a waste of time because the SEC is taking enforcement action. And so there's a good chance that the ICO that you're thinking about putting money into is either an exit scam or just utterly a complete donational ICO. In other words, you're never going to get your money back. It's not an investment. You're just literally giving your money to a group of developers that might possibly sometime, maybe in the future, actually do something. All right, then I have Transaction Accelerator. If your transactions are stuck, I don't mind using something that might help you. Bitcoin Cash hash rate, historical chart 6 months. If you want to get an idea of the comparison between the two blockchains that compete for the same mining hashing power. All right, next in the notes section that's been partitioned off, I have, can Bitcoin be replaced via multiple hard forks? James Bond interview on Crush the Street, published November 9th. Interview November 7th. Check it out. I say some interesting things. And then collecting your free Bitcoin Gold coins with Coinami. I'm pretty sure by now everyone should have gotten their Coinami or been able to split their Coinami coins. I mean, not Coinami coins, their Bitcoin Gold coins using Coinami. If not, hopefully you were not a victim of the My BTG wallet hack and possibly some other wallet hacks out there. When it comes to splitting your coins, please use a reputable wallet. All right. Coinami's been pretty good. I've never gotten my Bitcoin stolen from Coinami. If you don't have an Android, Coinami does, well, let me just continue on here. If you still need help on splitting your Bitcoin Gold from your Coinami wallet, I have how to split Bitcoin Gold BTG-01. I made a video, so that should help you out. And then I have, now, if you don't have an Android and you can't download the Coinami wallet, Coinami does have a mnemonic code converter. Basically, you can use any wallet you want, or you can use the mnemonic code converter, but it comes from their website. It's a recovery phrase tool. So you could import your mnemonic seed into the mnemonic code converter and then extract your Bitcoin Gold that way. And also, you can also use that tool to to generate a wallet as well. So it's very useful. And again, all the coins that you want, everything, all the altcoins that Konami provides, their recovery phrase tool also provides those same coins. So as they add new tokens, I think they have Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Gold. They do have Bitcoin. They even have Bitcore. So a lot of coins on there. And then I have a link to Bitcoin Gold if you want to go there, but it might be a gamble because their site might be riddled with like malware and viruses that will take your Bitcoin. Okay. All right. And then if you watch this video or any other cryptocurrency video and it's an advertisement, you see an advertisement for BitConnect, usually somebody promoting it is Craig Grant and his mistress, Juliana. You might want to read these articles before you invest your life savings into BitConnect. Why has ICO Index labeled BitConnect as an outright fraud? Notice regarding high yield coins on top of BitConnect. What is BitConnect and why have we decided to distance ourselves from it? And just in case you need a video to watch to get an idea of BitConnect and how it works, I have James Bond Bitcoin Live 0017, where I interviewed 3 BitConnectors. 2 of them rage quit. One of them was stupid enough to stick around to let you know where you could find them. The 4th guest was just a regular guest, not involved in BitConnect at all, and even he can tell that BitConnect is a pyramid or a scam or a Ponzi. And I also had a special guest appearance by Ozzy the BS Filter, who for some reason is a very successful, rich business owner, but can't figure out that BitConnect is a Ponzi. Can't quite figure that out. So why would somebody as supposedly as smart, as rich, as successful as Ozzy the BS Filter can't figure out BitConnect is a scam? Well, probably just like all the guests on that video who are involved in BitConnect, who basically describe a Ponzi to you, but can't acknowledge that it is a Ponzi. They were all involved, right? They all were involved in BitConnect. So just a thought. Anyways, last but not least, in the last partition of the notes section, I have the video. I have the video theme for this video. It's Black Butler, Sebastian's True Form, English dubbed. So you don't have to read. You can just listen. Very short to the ending of the whole series of the Black Butler. As you can tell, it's part of the meme that you're looking at right now. And then I have hashtag yes2x as well. That is the link to this meme that you're watching. Also, I linked to a Bitcoin pot of gold and the donational address to the Bitcoin pot of gold. So let's all see who's in the live chat now. 21 million, I see you're first. AcU5, you're second. I don't know if you're still here. Looks like you were going to head to work or head home from work. FUD Machine, I see you. Welcome. FUD Machine, you say buy Spank Chain now? I never heard of Spank Chain. Maybe I ought to look it up. Andre Barnwell, gang. Julie G, how you doing? And Marty Wilkinson, good to see you. Nice video you did today. If anybody wants to check out a video, check out Marty Wilkinson. Brian, howdy. And Dual Overhead Camness. And Crypto Cartel, good to see you. Buy Bitcoin. And also, I like to say hi to Buy Bitcoin in the chat. Free Skillshare Media, good to see you. IOTA does not have a partnership with Microsoft. I know, isn't that shocking? Maybe if I shook hands with somebody who works at Microsoft, that would make me a partner. Or what if I actually had like maybe sexual relations with someone who worked at Microsoft? Would that mean I have a partnership with Microsoft? Maybe that's what IOTA did. And so let's see. Q bro, good to see you. And then AcU5, I see you did make it back in time. And Brad Taylor, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. First time I've seen you here. All right, so let's take a look at the meme here. If you haven't figured out what the meme is talking about, I'm talking about IOTA for the most part. I'll read it out for you. They fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Yes, all you altcoin trainers, or maybe not you altcoin traders, but maybe all those noobs out there that are on getting the word from social media. Totals. This is if you don't understand that cryptocurrencies is not a company. They don't produce a product or any service. The only way people can, the only way the price moves on these altcoins is because you are socially engineered. You are literally, I would say, tricked, bamboozled, made a fool of, to basically buy into these altcoins that really have nothing to offer, right? They don't solve anything. They have nothing to offer. The only thing they do offer is either hype, misrepresentations, or over-exaggerations. And I'll get to talking about that. So yes, you fell for it. If you bought into IOTA, you fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Now, the question is, did you make any money off of this? Now, maybe some people did, but now that you know, like, there is no partnership with Microsoft, don't you feel kind of stupid? At least the people who didn't know that this was all fake. Anyway, they probably feel stupid. But anyways, let's go talk about that. Let me go on here. So let me see. John Doe, how you doing? You say Z Classic is going to the moon very soon. Buying before 33,000 satoshis, and get ready for a pump to 50K. I'm assuming you're talking about 50,000 satoshis. Look how bullish that mother effer looks. Do your Twitter research and see what's up with them. Well, again, another example of social engineering. Hopefully you like being socially engineered. You like being probed and analyzed to do stuff. So, Crypto Cartel, welcome back. Welcome back. And so, all right, so they fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Oh, goodness. X Games, welcome to the chat. All right. So here you go. Bitcoin pot of gold. I still think it's way over $100. I did give away the 8th clue to the 8th word of the 24-word mnemonic seed. That was in yesterday's video, I believe, or the previous episode, I should say. Anyways, the QR code up here on the left side, and the arrow pointing to the Bitcoin pot of gold is the donational address. Please take your wallet and scan it. Send all, high priority, and send again. And thank you very much. Appreciate it. I think it's definitely over $100. So if I could get somebody else to donate to it, I can give out the 9th clue. The 9th clue to the 9th word of the 24-word mnemonic seed. And then the QR code on the right here. This is the private encrypted private key. Go ahead and scan that with your wallet. Now, this is a SegWit address. So if you have a SegWit wallet, you should be able to sweep it just fine. If not, you need a encrypted decoder to get to the private key. And once you get the private key, you probably have to use a SegWit sender. So I think Kyle Honeycutt made a SegWit sender, also a SegWit wallet generator. If you use his SegWit sender and SegWit wallet generator, you should be able to just use the private key and then put in the address, and it will sweep it for you. Otherwise, you would have to get the redeem script and do a couple extra steps. So anyways, if you're good at cracking passwords, go ahead, give it a try. All the Bitcoins are yours if you do. And then the QR code down here in the middle here is if you use a regular barcode scanner or QR code scanner, it will take you to Yellow Fever for You, to his channel. He's the one that gave me this idea. Thank you, Yellow Fever for You. All right. Let's get on to our first article here. So free Skillshare Media. Let me just go back real quick. You want to know what the clues are? They're in my previous videos. So you probably have to go back a few videos. I mean, they're not in all of them. As people donate into the Bitcoin pot of gold, I give away the clues. I've given away at least 8 clues to the 24-word mnemonic seed in order. And so you have to probably go back to the previous videos to see them or find out what they are. Some of them are actually, most of them are in the video. You have to watch the video, but I usually have them in the beginning. Some recently, at least the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th clue are in the note section. And so you have to go into the note section to somehow find out the clue. All right. So other than that, the encrypted private key, the password, there is no clue. All I can say is that it has to do something with yellow fever for you. So that's why there's a link to his channel. All right. There you go. All right. So here's the bond trading view. And I'll probably be going over this. I'll try to go over the news real quick. But there is a lot of coins out there that are, I think, increasing in Bitcoin value. So if you have any of these altcoins, uh, you're making a lot of Bitcoins, which is good because I want you to make a lot of Bitcoins. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. You know, I think as the more Bitcoins you make, the better for me because you'll eventually dump these altcoins because you can't cash out these altcoins. No one accepts these altcoins whatsoever. So anyway, this is the bond trading view right here, as it's labeled as customized by me, and I'll share it with you. I make one every day. Hey, hello, Brad Taylor. Good to see you. And this view created by James Bond Bitcoin Live, list of top 55 coins and tokens compared to Bitcoin percentage and all-time high, flagged for shorts. So these are all flagged for shorts. Here are the list of shorts right here that I flagged. The first list of tokens goes from high priority, and then from the bottom is a low priority. And you can see in US dollars, they've done really well, which is good. I'm happy for all of you who own these tokens or who have gotten into it, which means you are now the benefactor of getting more Bitcoins. And let's just take a look at the Bitcoin value. I can click on that real quick. And so look at that. You're getting some of these, you're getting some nice double-digit percentages here. If you were in them, most likely, unfortunately, you weren't. There's probably a really good chance you weren't because you weren't involved in part of the pumping. And so you probably were not involved. But if you do have these tokens, I'll go change them back to the US dollars. So it looks a little bit nicer. If you have them, you might want to start looking for an exit because you know, these pumps don't last forever. And if you look at the overall trend on Bitcoin, if you compare these tokens to Bitcoin, I think you would have made more money, all right, when the Bitcoin price starts pumping again. And eventually, all the money, all the value gets transferred to altcoins, where it's sold to the greater fool to give up their Bitcoins, and then that money or the value comes back into Bitcoin eventually. So if you know the flows, it's possible you can. I mean, you can definitely make more money, but you really what you want to do is you want to make more Bitcoin because by having more Bitcoin, you'll make even more, a lot more money. And plus, like I said, you could literally sell Bitcoin peer to peer and actually get cash for it. It's more usable than these altcoins because last time I checked, it's hard to sell. We'll put it this way: I've never I never sold an altcoin to another person for cash. That's never happened in the entirety of my life. Now, other people say they have, but you know, maybe once in a blue moon. I'm talking about on a regular basis. You know, so the liquidity of Bitcoin is much greater. Hey, client Shiz Big, how you doing? So let's take a look here. So let me see, what are you saying? Next hype from Germany after IOTA will be NAGA is actually in pre-sale working with German stock exchange coming from financial city central area, Frankfurt. Should be more a warning than advice. Okay, well, thank you for that information. People should, you know, if you're not here live enjoying the live stream, you're probably missing out on a lot of good information. A lot of the people that are in the live stream, you definitely provide very good information and conversation in the live chat. Anyways, let me go on to the first story before I go over the bond trading view. All right, so if you haven't seen this, let me see if I can rewind it here. Uh, Sorry you can't hear it. You can read it though. All right, thank you for sharing that with. I think that was a Broadhurst guitar or something like that, or Broadhurst heart. Thank you for sharing that. Just want to show this. I think it's a great, funny video. Bitcoin's first day on the CME, and boy, did it just really. I think the markets had to stop several times because it moved so fast. So both CME and the CBOE, I think the CBOE first, it actually so much traffic was to the website that it crashed. The website crashed, not Bitcoin. And so, anyways, there is a link in the notes section here. Go ahead and check it out. It's very funny. Enjoy it. You'll get to hear it with sound. Sorry, you can't hear it with sound, but it did have subtitles. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. All right. All right. So here's here's the article to the meme that I have right now. And so basically, IOTA clarifies it has no formal partnership with Microsoft. Wow. Well, what happened? I thought they were having a partnership with Microsoft. Maybe somebody from IOTA was having like a sexual relationship with somebody from Microsoft, and that was misconstrued by maybe some news outlets, maybe some bloggers, maybe some YouTubers, that IOTA and Microsoft had a partnership. So, anyways, if you haven't already figured out now, you were socially engineered to believe that Microsoft had a partnership with IOTA and something amazing was going to happen. The reality is, IOTA is basically just for the most part, using some Microsoft products, and I'm assuming because they are using Microsoft products. In other words, they bought Microsoft products. Maybe a Microsoft representative was basically just entertaining the IOTA developers or whoever with just follow-up sales of entertaining, doing something with IOTA. Okay, so I think that's what really happened. If but obviously IOTA has gone up quite a bit. Uh, Everything on IOTA's, I don't even know what to call it, even a blockchain. I'm not even sure if it's a blockchain, what it is, but obviously complaints of uh, you know IOTA being stuck in from transferring, a lot of issues. I don't, I'm not sure what IOTA is, but I could tell you right now, if IOTA has to, if the price of IOTA is moved, right, by a fact of an exaggeration of what happened here, then it's probably not a very good token. Okay, so go ahead and read the article, check it out. Um, you know, this is obviously big miscommunication, quote unquote, or misconstrued by media outlets or bloggers, and probably a lot of people on Twitter and Reddit as well. There was an update here to the article. I'll read the update. IOTA's founders reached out after the publication of this story with the following statement. We have never stated that there was any formal partnership with Microsoft, and instead always referred to them as a participant to the marketplace. The media has overblown the story into a IOTA launches data marketplace with Microsoft, which couldn't be further from the truth, as we are working together with more than 30 of the largest companies in the world on the marketplace as a co-innovation exercise. When it comes to our communication and involvement of Microsoft, we have asked for the written and explicit approval of the press release, quote, and logo beforehand, and have stayed within the boundaries with what we were allowed to do. So WTN updated the title to better reflect this story. Well, let me tell you something. During that whole time, I didn't see IOTA come out and clarify anything, right? I don't think, why would they? Because basically the price was pumping. Why would they stop and say, hey, stop. We didn't partner with anybody. I mean, they just let this thing ride. And basically, I think you were all socially engineered. But if you did have IOTA, and if you did dump, because they were on my list of shorts on, my bond trading view several times, then you probably made out with a lot of Bitcoin. Now, IOTA as a long term compared to Bitcoin, I think I've gone over it. It's a loser. Matter of fact, let me check. Let's check out CoinMarketCap. All right, so my thing is stuck. Hold on here. Maybe this is it. CoinMarketCap. All right, there we go. Now it's rolling. Oh, no. Okay, there it is. All right, so I'm going to call CoinMarketCap. Let's go check out IOTA real quick. And since I'm here, maybe I'll check out some of the coins that you're all talking about in chat. IOTA. So, I mean, maybe the next time, I like have a drink with somebody from like JP Morgan Chase, I can say, hey, I'm partnering with JP Morgan Chase, and all of a sudden my net worth will, triple. Wow, it did it had quite a bit of pump today, didn't it? And as you can tell, it's going down based on the news. So if you did, now this one, if you were a long time holder of IOTA, you actually made some Bitcoin. Congratulations, good for you. But unfortunately, it's gone down to the price where maybe you should actually look for an exit on this. Let me have a look at the last 3 days. IOTA is not that old either. IOTA, it looks like June of 2013. I mean, this is as far as it goes. Let me see here. Today's 12, and we'll go to the 11th. So that's about 3 days. All right. Well, there you go. Well, there's the view of IOTA in the last 3 days. So it looks like it's just ranging. Anyways, if you had it during the pump, and hopefully you had a chance to dump it and get more Bitcoin. Okay, let me see what coins were you all talking about a little bit earlier. I'll take a look at it. Spankcoin. FUD Machine said Spankcoin. Okay, so what is there really a Spankcoin? Oh my gosh, there really is a Spank chain. Really? There's a Spank chain? So if I buy this token, do I oh, it's an ERC20 token. What do I use it for? To spank people with? Actually, not bad. You actually make some more Bitcoin. Now, if you already have it, I would recommend dumping it. But if you don't, it looks like it's only come out since November 23rd. Is that right? So, all right. So if you have this coin, this is actually a Bitcoin maker. If you made some, you probably made some Bitcoin. Probably want to dump it here soon too. Let's have a look at the last 3 days. Oh, nice. So Spank Chain, interesting. All right, so it looks good if you have it. If you're part of this pump and you're involved in this pump, there's probably a good chance you are making a good amount of Bitcoin, and you probably want to consider getting out at some point before it starts going back down. So that's a good one. Thank you for that. Good lead. So this is a Bitcoin maker. So try to extract as much Bitcoin as you can. Let me see. What other tokens have you mentioned to me? I think Nana. Who was the one that said Nana here? Someone said Nana. Let's have a look if there's such a thing as a Nana. No, that's an ICO token, right? That's coming out in sale. I think you were saying. Hold on here. I'm looking for that. All right. I was looking at Spankcoin. Someone mentioned Nana, but I'm just going through the chat real quick. Let me see here. All right, well, I can't find it, but let me look up Z Classic real quick. ZCL, Z Classic, okay. I think it was John Doe says it's going to go to 50,000 Satoshis. It's at 33,000, almost. Pretty close to 33,000 Satoshis. Let's have a look. Well, I don't know. I don't know about this one. John Doe, I don't know about this one, but you may be right. You may be right. But I have to say, so far, long term, because I have to look at things on the long term, and right, and this is literally just November 2016, which so it's pretty much a year old. There's not much you can go on. This definitely looks like another just a pump and dump coin, and if it is starting a pump, then okay, thanks for the heads up. If people want to try to have a gamble, if you want to risk your Bitcoin, if you want to have a possible chance of somebody else taking your Bitcoin and you possibly being left with a bag of Z Classic, I guess you can try. It seems like the trend now is altcoins are starting to pump. Which, what it really is I think all the noobs coming in, they're probably looking at Bitcoin and they probably bought almost kind of around the top-ish area, which I don't think we're at a top, but my point is they bought in recently. So they bought around at, anywhere from 15 to 16,000, maybe 17. If you're on Coinbase, maybe you bought at 20,000, who knows? And then you're trying to, you're thinking to yourself, well, how can I make more Bitcoin? And the first mistake any noob does, like probably most altcoin traders do, is they say, well, maybe I can make more Bitcoin by trading these altcoins. And if you haven't noticed, you don't make more Bitcoins with your altcoins. All right, you actually lose your Bitcoin, although you make money, and that's how you justify it in your head. You're like, well, I didn't make more Bitcoins, I lost Bitcoin. Hence, I actually had an opportunity loss of making more money, but I did make money. And so you justify it in your head, and then you just keep doing it, right? You just keep making the same mistakes. But thank you for the heads up. If it is a pump, thank you for the information. I guess anybody watching this video, if you want to participate in that pump, you can. Let's take a look at the last 3 days here. And well, you know, I can't deny by looking at this chart that you are making more Bitcoin. If you bought 3 days ago, which you can't go back in the past, it's already been pumped. All right. Question is it going to pump any further? He's talking about 50 more thousand, 50K Satoshis. I don't know. You're stretching it. It looks like it's already being pumped and it's going sideways. But if anybody want to risk their Bitcoin and lose out on making larger gains, making more money, holding on to your Bitcoins, by all means, you know, I can't stop you. All right, let's go in the notes section here real quick. Z Classic. Okay, I already gone over that with John Doe. Let's see what else is in here. Yeah, okay, so client Shizbig, you're the one that says that Naga, I'm sorry. Let me see if I can find it. Naga. No, it's nothing new. It's not here yet. All right. So we'll have to wait for that ICO to come out. Did I say mana? Is there a mana? No, there's no mana. No mana available. Oh, goodness. All right. Let's see what else is in here. Oh, goodness. Andy Anderson, welcome to the chat. All right, so enough of this. Let's continue on, and we'll get back to this. So this part right here, IOTA. Sorry, there is no partnership with IOTA, all right? No partnership with IOTA. IOTA is not partnering with Microsoft, all right? Why would, and then the other thing, you have to ask yourself, why would Microsoft, a multi-billion-dollar blue chip, you know, stock company, partner with some obscure, unknown cryptocurrency? It wouldn't, all right? So just think about it before you get all excited. And IOTA using Microsoft products is not considered a partnership. All right. All right, so let's have a look at the next one here. Oh, sorry for the bright light. Hopefully it'll load. Okay, here it is. Online. Bitcoin fans are liars or dupes, says Forbes author. Now, I have to admit, there is some truth to this. I do think there are a lot of people who are after your Bitcoin. You know, they're called Bitcoin fans. They're after your Bitcoins. They're into Bitcoin because they know that once they take your Bitcoin, it's theirs forever. You can't. There's no backseas, right? Once they trick you into giving, once they trick you into giving up your Bitcoin, that's it. You're left holding the bag, or you're scammed, or whatever. So I do believe there are a lot of Bitcoin fans. Not because they believe in the technology. I think they understand the technology enough to know that once you give it to them, you can't take it away from them. I think that's what they understand that very well. Are they liars? I believe they are liars. And are they dupes? I think some of them are dupes. I think when you first get in, you may have been duped. because you've been promised like low transaction fees. You maybe even been promised that you'll double or triple or quadruple your money. Um, Another one is, that it's better than cash. In some ways it is, and in some ways it isn't. All right. And eventually you'll get duped into probably or convinced or talked into going into some altcoin, which is even worse than some of the issues that are facing with Bitcoin. All right. Going into an altcoin doesn't make it more better. I know the transaction times may be a little bit better, but as far as liquidity and use, it gets worse as you go into different altcoins. So, but this is the original article. You should read it, check it out. But let me go to the source. So here's the source right here. Hopefully it'll show up. There it is. So here's the source of the article. 7 lies Bitcoin fans tell themselves and everyone else who will listen. All right. So let's go over some of them. And if it sounds familiar or if you have experience with this, let me know. Okay, let's take a look. Number 1 is lie. A lie number 1. Bitcoin is like something else. Something else. Well, fallacy is so prevalent, frankly, because Bitcoin really isn't much like anything else. Similarities between Bitcoin and, say, the US dollar or gold or even tulips, the differences for similarities. Now, this one, I think Bitcoin is different because if you use it, you'll know it's different. I've been in the banking system all my life, like most people have. You've all used banks and credit cards and other money transfer businesses and other systems, PayPal maybe. And if you haven't experienced or haven't quite understood how those systems work, once you start using Bitcoin, you'll realize how different it is. It is a push system, and there's no way to pull that back. There's no clawbacks. You can't reverse a transaction. So it is very different in that way. The second thing I've noticed between the incumbent system and Bitcoin is that you are on your own. All right. There is no safety net for you in Bitcoin. If you lose the private key, that's it. If you lose your wallet, that's it. If you send to the wrong address, that is it. No ifs, ands, or but. That you are on your own. You are the bank. You take on the responsibility. But the difference is because you take on the responsibility, you also benefit the most. You benefit immensely, all for you. If you're a holder of Bitcoin, you receive the benefits of the network effects. You receive the benefits of the diminishing supply, or not diminishing supply, diminishing block rewards that the miners receive, which eventually reduces, well, not reduce the supply, but reduce the emissions of the 21 million Bitcoins, the total cap. So you also receive the greatest reward. In that sense, it is different than anything I've ever experienced. Stocks, bonds. I'm not into gold or silver. I understand commodities. I used to trade commodities, as in physical commodities, paper, cardboard, aluminum, plastic. Um, I mean, even metals to some degree. So I understand. Everything does have value. Your trash, believe it or not, has value. So everything has value. Even dirt has value. It's hard to believe. But can you find a buyer and a seller? Can you can you make it liquid, right? So can you use it, or can you turn it into something usable? Like most of the times you turn it to cash. So once you turn it to cash, then you can use it for whatever. So that's kind of the question. Now, when it comes to altcoin, it gets worse. All right, it gets harder. So all the challenges you might have with Bitcoin, it gets actually even worse with every altcoin that you use, and as you go down the tier of altcoins, it gets even worse and worse and worse. So just to give you a heads up. All right, so that's the first thing. Bitcoin is like something else. That is not a lie. I think that is true. That is very true. Let's see here. Is my audio breaking up? Sorry about that. I'm pretty sure the audio is working fine. Let's see what the other is. Okay, so lie number 2, Bitcoin is secure. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, and crypto means secure, right? Not so fast. Bitcoin has proven apparently easily to steal and even easier to lose. Well, I have to disagree on this one too. I don't think the author really even has any Bitcoin. Bitcoin is pretty secure. I've never had anybody take my Bitcoins from my private key. Now, what can happen is you can have Bitcoins on an exchange, and the exchange can be hacked. You can trust a third party with your Bitcoin, and they can supposedly get hacked, aka nice hash. What else? Mount Gox, all this other stuff. Bitfinex. Those are kind of examples. You can actually be tricked or scammed. So if you don't practice good security with your private keys, yeah, they can be stolen. And once they're gone, they're gone. But Bitcoin itself, I'm pretty sure is secure. Is it possible to hack an address and get a private key? It is possible, but the odds and the time it would take is so long that it's hard. It's hard. And then there was the instance where I think some address, uh, random address generators, private key generators are compromised. So it's not any fault of the system per se. It's just the fault of the generator. Someone's messing with that generator in order to get the private keys. So not I don't think that's a complete lie, but I can understand where he's coming from. Okay, so let's go over the third lie. Bitcoin is money. Take a $20 bill and put it under your mattress. Wait 10 years and retrieve it. What is it worth? $20? Of course. Sure, inflation will have likely reduced its value somewhat, but $20 will always be $20, such as the nature of money. So is Bitcoin money? Um, it is and it isn't. People who use it as money, it's money to them. But they don't, typically people who use it as money, they don't really, um, they don't hold a lot of Bitcoin, in my opinion. That's why they buy Bitcoin from somebody and then use the Bitcoin as money. Um, Now, is it different than like going to Western Union? I guess you could say it's a settlement layer, but I've used it as money. But it actually, it's a lot of things to me. It's an investment, it's money, it's a commodity to some degree, and it's a movement. It's an idea. It's a belief. Bitcoin really represents a lot of things, and it's hard to categorize it and just say, is it money or is it not money? I could tell you one thing: one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin. One Bitcoin is one Bitcoin now, as it was back in 2013 and back in 2009. One Bitcoin is one Bitcoin. If you put in that terms, then I guess you could say Bitcoin is money. But if you're trying to compare Bitcoin to another currency, of course, it's going to move around. But I would say, is that a lie? I wouldn't say that's a lie. I think that's being a little harsh there, but people do use it as money. When I need to use it as money, yes, I use it as money. And one Bitcoin is worth one Bitcoin. Okay, let me see here. What's the lie number 4? Lie number 4, Bitcoin has intrinsic value outside of its mineability. I analyzed the question of Bitcoin's intrinsic value in a previous article, concluding that its only intrinsic value, that is value outside of its market value, is due to the fact that people have to mine it. I would actually say that some of that is true. Some of it's true. Is there intrinsic value outside of its mineability? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think the intrinsic value is its mineability. If anybody says that it has intrinsic value outside of its mineability, it's hard to measure. Other than your belief in the overall system, that you put faith and belief into the Bitcoin network and the networked effect of increased use, increased adoption. Other than that, I don't really think it has any intrinsic value outside of its mineability. Mineability, how much energy it takes to produce one Bitcoin, is probably the intrinsic value of it, and that's pretty solid. I do believe that. So I think people who say that there's intrinsic value outside of its mineability, I think that is a lie. I would have to say that might be a lie. Crypto Cotter, how you doing? And then let me see here. Lie number 5, Bitcoin is not in a bubble. Let me see what he says here. A Bitcoin's intrinsic value is around 1,000, while its market price value bounces between 15 and 20. Some other crazy number depending on when you're reading this. The difference is pure speculation. One fool's bet that a greater fool will be willing to buy Bitcoin for more than the first fool paid for it. Well, Bitcoin is not in a bubble. That is a lie. If you look at the history of Bitcoin, if people say Bitcoin is not in a bubble, maybe they're having it depends on the context and what they're using it for. But Bitcoin does have a boom and bust cycle. That's very apparent. That is a fact. If you look at the beginning of Bitcoin and even to current, there are booms and bust and booms and bust. Prices go up, prices go down. But the interesting thing about Bitcoin, from what I can tell, is that the boom and the bust increase, or the price increase over time. So when it started out with 0 and went up to $2, that was a boom, that was a bubble, and then crashed back down to probably like 10 cents. The next time it was 15, and then the next time it was 30, and then the next time it was 250, and then the next time it was 1,000. And now we're in the situation where it's almost going up to what I think is up to 21,000. And will it bust? Will it go into a bear market after that? I don't know, but I know each time it goes through these cycles, it does increase exponentially. the value increases exponentially upwards. Will it go down, and how far it goes down? I don't know. It's hard to tell. And anybody who tells you that they know, they're lying. Not you can't tell when it's you can't tell if you're in a bubble or when the bubble is going to pop until after it's popped. Okay, so that's a fact. What's the bottom? What's the baseline? I don't know. Ideally, if there is an intrinsic value, if you base it on mining, it would be the price of what it costs to produce one Bitcoin is probably the bottom price, but it doesn't always work that way, because then miners will not sell Bitcoin below the price in which it costs to produce a Bitcoin. And then also they want to make a profit as well. So if the intrinsic value, if the cost is $1,000 to produce one Bitcoin, and miners want to make money on that, and you have to consider, like any good business, any manufacturer, any raw material producer, if you look at their margins, they like to keep a pretty healthy margin. They like to get a 30 to 50% margin. So just to give me an idea, a 50% margin is 2 times the production price. So if Bitcoin's intrinsic value, the cost to produce one Bitcoin is $1,000, then the miners want to make profit, and they usually want a 50% margin is probably the norm in Bitcoin mining. It is intensive, capital intensive, so they do want their returns on it. So $2,000 would be the lowest price in which a miner would sell to the open market. So if you consider that 2,000 being the bottom price, but it doesn't mean it's going to be 2,000, right? Because then there's market participants like you and I who trade, and we want to make our money, and we want to typically we want a 50% margin as well, which is double the price. So you take 2,000 and then double that, that gives you to 4,000. So the actual price will, if you think about it, could be like 4,000 by the time it reaches, when it on the open market. So just because the intrinsic value is 1,000 doesn't mean the price is going to go to 1,000. So just my input right there. Hello, imaginary globe. Yes, I know. Bitcoin can retrace to 30%. Bitcoin can retrace to 50% as well. I mean, not 50, 90%. So they're, but we don't know until it actually happens, right? It depends on the market participants. I think the miners will not allow it to go to $1,000. If it costs $1,000 to make one Bitcoin, they're not going to sell at $1,000. That's suicide. So if anything, it would be like lowest it may go is to 2,000. But then again, you got the miners who want to make money, and the people who bring to market the Bitcoins, the participants like you and I, we don't want it to go down to 2,000, and we want to make our money in trading it. So, realistically, 4,000 to 5,000 maybe, or it could be even higher. Like no one knows. I wish I could say it'll go down to this price, but nobody wants it to go down to a lower price, especially not me or you or the miners. And so why would anybody sell at a lower price? I don't know why, but who knows? Let me see here. Lie number 6. I've made money on Bitcoin you're holding. Okay, let me see what he's talking about. Never lose sight the difference between paper profits and real profits. You have to sell your Bitcoin to get real money in order to realize a profit. Now that is true what he is saying, but let me see what the lie is. I've made money on the Bitcoin you're holding. Okay. So I guess he's talking about how people like to say they made money because they're a hodler, and right now they're if you have 100 Bitcoins, which you know, back in 2013, if it was $1,000, that's only $100,000. Now it's like $1 million, right? You are you really did you really make money? Because you haven't realized any of the profits. Uh, I guess that's a little misleading. I can understand how he sees that as a lie. Until you can actually use your Bitcoin for something. Um, uh, I, I guess so, because there's a lot of people who have a lot of Bitcoin. Unfortunately, they have not used their Bitcoin other than to hold it. So if you haven't used your Bitcoin, are you really rich? I mean, because it's just a number in your head, really. You take the market price times the number of Bitcoin that you have, and all of a sudden your net worth is that much. But if you look around you, do you have are you really worth that net worth? Probably not. But the same is true for anyone who holds stocks, um, you know, any 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 asset that pretty much fluctuate in price, even real estate. So unless you really have cash on hand, but again, who would want cash? The whole purpose of cash is for you to invest it into something that appreciates in price. So I think this lie number 6 is a little flawed in his thinking. So, all right. So lie number 7, I'm full of crap. Okay, now he's saying is not just me, of course, but any Bitcoin naysayer. Rest assured, whenever I poke my stick at Bitcoin, I get my share of flames or flamers, people who no better argument than a personal attack on myself. I think that is true. I think people in the Bitcoin space get very, very angry, very upset, because we all own Bitcoin. We have Bitcoin, and we don't want other people to. It feels threatening. It's kind of like how when you see altcoin coming close to Bitcoin's market cap, you get very hostile, and that's kind of normal. I think there's some truth into what he's saying about that. Um, but if you've been in Bitcoin for a while, you'll you get used to these things. Hello, my name is Craig Grant. This is my Bitcoin wallet. How you doing? Welcome to the chat. I sell my house and use all my funds to buy Bitcoin 1K. All I'm saying. Well, if in that case you would be a multi-millionaire. So now all you have to do is figure out how to use your Bitcoin, which it's kind of a challenge. Do you have a network of buyers? Can you use your Bitcoin? Now, if you are like Craig Grant, and like the guy who pumps BitConnect, Craig Grant, and all you do is use your Bitcoin to rent out hotels for the night, that is an utter waste of Bitcoin, in my opinion. If you're kind of relegated to that kind of lifestyle and the way you use your Bitcoin, then I think that's pretty stupid, because you're not really getting anything out of it. It's not like you're getting a house out of it. You're getting a temporary place to stay, although it may be nice, but eventually you'll run out of Bitcoin. And the sad thing is, in the long term, if you just kept that Bitcoin and just bought a modest house, or go back to a modest house, later on you would be probably very, very, very wealthy, a multi-billionaire. So using that using your Bitcoins to for Expedia to be in a hotel is pretty stupid. That's just my opinion. How you doing, Igor Goldobin? Welcome to the chat. Anyways, interesting article. Go ahead and take a look. And if you feel inflamed or angry, send this guy an email. Let him know what you think. But then again, that's only if you feel this way. I mean, I don't. You know, I've seen this so many times. Everybody always criticizes Bitcoin at first, but I think over time, when you see the performance, excuse me for the white screen. Okay, there we go. When you see the performance, oh yeah, I forgot the next article. Last but not least, the Supreme Court of Greece decided to extradite the alleged administrator of Bitcoin exchange BTC-e. So it looks like Alexander Vinnik will be coming to the U.S. to face charges, and I guess you know, going to Russia for his $11,000 fraud charge versus a $6 million fraud charge of money laundering. I guess the $6 million fraud charges and money laundering charges and whatever else charges from the U.S. Basically outweighed any charges that $10,000 fraud charge that he had for Russia. So it looks like he'll be coming to the U.S. Hopefully he'll enjoy his stay. But I have a feeling that most likely he's going to try to cop a deal. I think he has valuable information. And for that, because he has valuable information, he's probably a very useful witness or stooge or snitch, whatever you want to call him. It'll be interesting to see if he even makes it to the U.S. because it seems like everybody else is like dying in jail, which I'm not sure if they're really dying in jail, hanging themselves in jail. That may be just a cover to be in a witness protection program to take down the rest of these kind of quote unquote dark markets. So Alexander is a big catch. It'd be interesting to see if he gives up any more people in his plea bargain. So just want to share that with you. All right, so let me see. What do I want to do? Let's go over Salome.io. Salome.io. All right, just waiting for it to load. Let's see what it comes up with. All right, I don't know what's going on. It always does that, but anyways. All right, so let's take a look. Economy is kind of big. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, economy. See what's going on with economy. According to this, it looks like economy is doing something. What's this tweet that's going around on economy? It says, economy, when everything this high, hashtag Bitcoin, hashtag Litecoin, hashtag Ethereum, have economy waiting for the taking. So this is a tweet basically saying economy might be the next pump because Bitcoin's pumping, Litecoin's pumping, Ethereum's pumping. That's the tweet that's going around. Another social engineering. Okay, let's have a look at economy. Let's have a look at the chart. And yeah. Okay, well, you know, if I was a contrarian, I would say economy might pump because it's gone down so much. There's nowhere to go but up after this. But this looks like a very bad investment. of course, if you're a risk taker and you want to tie up your Bitcoin, which is making money right now, and wait for a pump on our economy, go ahead, be my guest. I guess your Bitcoin is going to make somebody an economy bag holder rich, and let them dump their bags of economy tokens onto you, so they could get some Bitcoin. Anyway, economy looks like an ERC20 token, which it's not a good time to be in an ERC20 token. You're going to lose out. What's library credits? I've gone over that so many times. Oh, looks like it's stuck. All right. Anyways, let's go over here. It's probably in here somewhere. A lot of negative social volume. Looks like not a lot of hype going on with all these coins here, most of them. So looks like we may experience a decrease in price coming up here. Not a lot of pumping going on. Yeah, not a lot of pumping going on. Amazing. See here, Pura. I don't even know what Pura is, but let's take a look at Pura. P-U-R-A, I believe. Let me see. P-U-R-A. Yep. P-U-R-A. Pura. Bitcoin Cash, Neo, and EOS are all pumping today. It's a good time to be. I wouldn't say a good time to be in the altcoin market, but most of the altcoins that I have on my list are pumping, and you are making more Bitcoin. So I guess that's good news for an altcoin trader somewhere out there who's been a long time bag holder. Pura, what is Pura? Looks like it's just a mineable coin. Well, recently it looks like it had a pump, and I can see why people are pumping it, because they want you to stay into it while they keep dumping it on you. So Pura is a pump and dump coin. Obviously, if it's looks like this is a social engineer again. Coinonomy, Economy. I've taken a look at that already. What's the other one? Wow, there aren't a lot of coins being pumped social media value-wise, so not a lot of social engineering. This could be just because of my timing. It looks like maybe the pump is over now about it, so expect prices to go down after today. Okay, well, let's go over some of my altcoins here. So let's go. These are the coins here that have very well against coin recently, very well. So let's go over Ethereum real quick. Here's Ethereum. We'll take a quick look at Ethereum. And while we're taking a quick look here, yeah, well, I don't know. Ethereum has a long way to go. A long way. If anything, I think it's just taking a dead cat bounce from its low here. You can see the low. You can see the low right here. I think it's just taking a dead cat bounce, and that's about it as far as Bitcoin price. So, but it looks like it might turn downwards again, and Bitcoin would start pumping again probably. That's just my intuition on that. So, okay, let's XRP. Let's have a look at Ripple. Ripple. XRP Ripple. Let me get rid of this here. Finish that. There we go. Okay. Wow. Okay. Ripple doesn't really look that overall. Okay. If I just look at Ripple, look, the price starts here. The Bitcoin price starts here, and it ends up here. It's not a Bitcoin maker, people. If it was probably at this point in time right here, and ever since then, it's gone down, and it's probably just another dead cat bounce because the Bitcoin price went up, and as soon as it reaches its bounce and starts going back down, the price of Bitcoin will probably go up as well. So, not a Bitcoin maker on this one. This is, well, not right now anyway. But again, if you excuse me. Sorry for coughing in your ear there. But if you want to park and risk your Bitcoins and possibly miss out on an opportunity to make more money in Bitcoin and wait for a Ripple pump, I guess you can, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Okay, so Dash is back. We'll take a quick look at Dash. All right, so Dash, DASH. We'll take a look at this. All right, taking a look at this, and yeah, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. This is not good. You could probably make some Bitcoins because the price does range up and down, and it is higher. It starts here, and it is higher on the right side of the chart. So it's not that bad. But if you could, as you can tell right here, you could take a look at that. It's not moving up a lot, and yet the prices hit an all-time high. So what does that mean? That means Bitcoin has outperformed Dash. So if you want to risk your Bitcoin and miss out on making more money, and you think you can make more Bitcoin trading Dash, go ahead. I have mentioned that Dash is a way you can trade and make more Bitcoins constantly. But again, you're risking it. So anyways, there's that. So Dash has always been in and out of my list. EOS. So people talked about EOS here. We'll take a look at EOS real quick. EOS. Look at EOS real quick. All right. Yeah. Well, recently it has made more Bitcoin recently. But if I look at overall, the could this be a trend that's starting to go up? I don't know. I mean, if that's the case, it's hard for me to believe that because this is an ERC20 token. It's on the Ethereum network, and as you know, that the SEC is going to take enforcement action. At this point in time, this EOS is either a charity or it's going to be an exit scam, one or the other. So I don't see why anybody would want to pump and buy this. I think this is too risky. But if you like taking the risk and you think you can possibly make more Bitcoin on this, by all means, go ahead. Z Zcash, ZEC. So let's take a look at ZEC. ZEC has definitely been pumping Zcash, ZEC. So it looks like I'm hitting up most of the coins that people are talking about in the chat. Zcash, ZEC. Let's have a look at their chart compared to Bitcoin. Well, this doesn't look good. It's a little deceptive because Zcash, when it first started, there were only like a couple Z coins, and people were actually paying like $3,000 to $5,000 per coin at the time, but you were getting fractional amounts of Zcash. So it does look a little deceptive. I should probably enhance the chart just a little bit. I'll zoom in at least this much, and that should give you a better idea. But even if I zoom in at this point, you could see that it's been trending down, and it's actually been going lower. August Insua, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. Can you give away some Bitcoin? Well, I do, or EOS. Well, I do have a little treasure hunt here. People have donated to the Bitcoin pot of gold here, and I've given away 8 or 9 clues of the 24-word recovery seed. If you can figure out the rest of the mnemonic seed, you can sweep the private keys right here. It has, I think, $150 worth of Bitcoin in it. The QR code on the right here is the encrypted private key. If you can figure out the password, it is a SegWit address, so you would have to have a SegWit wallet, or you know how to use a SegWit sender using a private key. You could sweep the Bitcoins from there. So that's how that's the prize right now. I used to have like somewhere in each of my videos encoded in the memes or in the video itself, a private key to get some Bitcoins. I still have them. Some of them are in my previous video. I think Brian has actually gotten most of them, the easy ones. The little harder ones are still available. So here's Zcash. It doesn't look good, in my opinion. You should probably look for an exit. Get as much Bitcoin as you can before the Bitcoin starts pumping in price. All right, so that's Zcash and Neo. So I'm going to talk about Neo. Let's see how Neo's doing. Is Neo really performing? Can you get more Bitcoin from Neo? N-E-O. There we go. N-E-O, Neo. I have a feeling the answer is going to be no, but let's take a look at the chart. I've never seen the chart of Neo compared to Bitcoin. Oh, wow. Who wants a sip of some 12-year Appleton? Boy, I would love a sip of some 12-year-old Appleton, Cubero. Okay, so looking at Neo, technically it has made more Bitcoin. So if you look on the chart on the left side, if you look on the left side of the chart, it is lower, and then it is higher on the right side. But I really doubt a lot of people have held on to their Neo that long or even bought into it. I have a feeling that most people bought into Neo probably during, well, let's just start from here. Let me just zoom in. Right here. So even, well, I think probably what, summer? So since August 14th, 2007, when it's hit its peak, so pretty much the summertime where most altcoins have really pumped. Ever since then, you have been losing Bitcoin because Bitcoin's been moving up thousands of dollars since then. So overall, do I think Neo is a good buy now? Well, I'm looking at this chart. I don't think so. I think it is in a decline. And here's the crazy thing is the price of Neo has hit an all-time high, but compared to Bitcoin, you're not getting as much as you did in the last, what, 3 months? You've lost quite a bit of Bitcoin. So it looks U.S. dollar value looks great. Bitcoin value, Neo is a loser. You should probably look for an exit on Neo. Tron, we've looked at Tron. Tron just keeps going up and up. Let me see, TRX, I believe. Yeah, Tron, several times, and I think it's just a straight pump. Because look, it's made 125% today in Bitcoin, but it's only worth 97 Satoshi. So you got one of these. This is one of these coins where they're not worth a lot, so it has nowhere to go but up, and people slowly buy into them. Matter of fact, I would say this price action right here, that's where people bought into it, and now this is being pumped. And I don't know what Tron does, and most likely it doesn't really do anything. It's just a pump and dump. What is it? It's a token. It's an ERC20 token. I would not touch ERC20 tokens right now because the SEC is going to take enforcement action, and so you're at risk of your tokens being worth nothing. August and soon. I'll take a look at EOS one more time. Will it go up higher, EOS? You're wondering if EOS will go up higher. Let's take a look. We'll take a look at the last 3 days. It definitely looks like it's trending up. EOS is always hitting my short list, but overall, the long term tells me no. It's a loser. It's a bad. It doesn't make you Bitcoin, really. It doesn't really make you Bitcoin. But let's have a look at the short term, 3 days, because it is trending upwards. It is trending upwards. It is trending upwards. So right now, I mean, it is making more Bitcoin. But if you bought in any time 3 days before, right, you're up. Anytime you made more Bitcoin, consider yourself fortunate because most altcoins don't make more Bitcoins. Matter of fact, you lose Bitcoin. So and I've always said that altcoins are, and even ERC20 tokens are nothing more than fractional representations of Bitcoin, even Ethereum. And again, the SEC is taking enforcement action. EOS, I think, is I wouldn't say company, but a lot of the investors are from the U.S. Wouldn't surprise me. Like Dan Larimer is definitely from the U.S. Brock Pierce is definitely from the U.S. and they're backing this. So I think it's only smart to assume that this is, at least this token EOS, you know, maybe this is its last pump before it dies, before it finally collapses. That's just my opinion on it, but I could be wrong. I would avoid any ERC20 tokens. I think overall, they're not a good investment. Well, first of all, they're not supposed to be an investment, so that's the problem. ZRX. I don't even know what ZRX is, but we'll take a look. We'll find out. Well, August and Suna, I always recommend selling your altcoins to get more Bitcoin. I always recommend that. Well, AcU5, I can't compare the two. All right, I can't compare it. I can compare it because they have a price. So I don't. You're right about the two blockchains. Maybe they're different, but I can't compare the price between Bitcoin and Ethereum. They share something in common. I can put them on a chart, and then, you can see that. The Ethereum, are they different? Here's the thing: if they're so different, why do people compare them and talk about the price so much, because people don't think of it differently. They really think of Ethereum as something that can't compete with Bitcoin, and because of that, well, if you can't have it both ways. You can't say, well, Ethereum is not the same as Bitcoin, so we're not competing with each other, but at the same time, compete for the same user base, compete for attention, compete for money. You can't have it that way. So if you're competing for users, you're competing for attention, you're competing for money, well, then I guess we can compare it, because it's competition at this point now. So let me see here. But yeah, I recommend get out of your altcoins and get into Bitcoin. I always recommend that, because all altcoins, all ERC20 tokens, all of Ethereum is nothing more than fractional representations of Bitcoin anyway. So what? I'm sorry. What was it? TRX or ZRX? Okay. ZRXO. OX. God, this thing. Wasn't this supposed to be like a credit card or something, or was that 10x? I'm not sure what it is. Oh, here it's another ERC20 token. These ERC20 tokens, the reason why they're getting pumped is because they know the time is running out. Like, oh my God, look at this. This is horrible. This is really bad. This is a bad investment. This is bad. Well, see, like, look at this. This is really bad. This is just trending downwards, and I'm thinking that people know that this is it for the ERC20 tokens, because they're basically securities, and enforcement action is finally going to be taken, and so they're pumping up the price. They're pumping it, and eventually they're going to be dumping this thing, because I have a feeling that a lot of people know this. The jig is up, and they're just squeezing whatever they can out of the greater fools out there. But if you want to waste your Bitcoin and put some money into this thing, go ahead. I think it's a loser. Let me see here. SYS, SYS. Nice thing is that it's been pumping. All these tokens, they have been pumping. So you do have an opportunity to make a lot more Bitcoins coming out of this, but only if you're able to capitalize on that. But if you're going to be a bag holder, just realize the risk of these things going down is, in my opinion, pretty high. Okay, Syscoin. I guess you can say this is a big. You made more Bitcoin on this. It does range in price, but right now, recently, if I just look at here, it's trending down. Now, maybe people think, well, it's hit a bottom, because it looks like it says 2,000 satoshis is the bottom right here at this line. 2,000 satoshis is the bottom. There's nowhere to go but up. But here's the thing: we've been in a bull market. Why hasn't this coin gone up and compared to Bitcoin? I could tell you why. Because Bitcoin has outperformed this token, and we're in a bull market. Could you imagine in a bear market what this thing would look like? This thing would literally die if we're in a bear market. Even if Bitcoin's tanking, you know that Syscoin's is going to tank even more. Syscoin's going to crash even more. So, I look for an exit. I try to get as much Bitcoin as you can out of this, and then just get rich off of Bitcoin. As far as I know, you can buy a Lambo using Bitcoin, but I don't think you can buy a Lambo using Syscoin. LTC, we'll take a look at LTC here. LTC. August Insua. I'm sorry if I say the last part of your avatar name wrong. You're asking me another question. Do you know any wallet for SegWit? I think Bitwala uses SegWit. I think Samurai Wallet uses SegWit. Coinbin uses SegWit. Um, Let me see. I think that's just off the top of my head. And then there's paper wallets that use SegWit. So there's that option there. But you're right. A lot of wallets don't use SegWit. What else? Ledger. I think Ledger and Trezor use SegWit. So, I prefer paper wallets because they're free and, I'm pretty secure with my private keys. So I'm okay with that. But for other people have different levels. Anyways, here's the chart on Litecoin. Um, Overall, the chart starts here, okay, and then the chart is lower. The price of Bitcoin is lower on Litecoin, and then or higher right here, and then lower right here. But let's just take a look recently. I know a lot of people getting excited about this. Yeah, it really needs to do a lot more. It's stalling out right here. It's stalling out. Now, it may just be at a consolidation, and it's possible it could just push up. It really needs to go above at least 0.2 Bitcoin. It needs to do at least that much. If it can reach to 0.24 Bitcoin, I think it might have a chance of going up higher. But just looking at it overall, Litecoin is not that great. It's not a Bitcoin maker. You can't make a lot of Bitcoin using Litecoin. Okay, Litecoin, XMR. XMR is back in the picture again. Look at XMR again. All right, so I'm sorry. Here we go. Just need to scroll down. XMR is a rare. It's rare to say this coin makes Bitcoin, but it does. If you just look at this one, you'll see here it's lower, and then on the right it's higher. Don't get that many coins. Dash is similar to that. Monero is like this. The thing about Monero is I think you really can make more Bitcoins with Monero because a lot of Bitcoin users also use Monero. They seem to go hand in hand because Bitcoin's not private. All right, so a lot of Bitcoin users go into Monero and then from Monero go back into Bitcoin. So to kind of obscure their transaction history. So there is a use case for Monero, but I think when Bitcoin has privacy and fungibility, including Lightning would probably help that as well. It's possible that Monero's kind of niche use case would be diminished. But right now, if you just look at the chart, it is trending upwards. And not only that, but it ranges. It has its peaks and its valley. So there is a way for you to actually make more Bitcoin with Monero. Now, the price of Monero may not spike up and go to the moon and everything, but the important thing I'm trying to show you is trying to make more Bitcoin. All right, you make more Bitcoin on the movement of Bitcoin price compared to the altcoin, not compared to the US dollar value of altcoins. All right, you got to keep that in mind. So I think there is a chance for you to make more Bitcoin because a lot of people who do use Bitcoin probably also use Monero and vice versa. Monero users probably use Bitcoin. So it's a complementary. This is probably a rare case where Monero is a complementary coin to Bitcoin. And again, it's to obscure their transaction history. They're basically a blockchain jumping. They're going in. They're using their Bitcoin to get into Monero, privacy transactions, then coming out of Monero and back into Bitcoin. And then essentially they've gotten pretty much washed coin. They're laundering their coins, if you want to think of it that way. I guess if you want to be crude about it and criminalize Monero users, but looking at this chart, it actually is a Bitcoin maker. I would call this a Bitcoin maker. It's trending upwards, and it has peaks and valleys where you can play the market. So. All right, let me see what else is. PPT, what is it? Populous. PPT. Sorry, there it is, PPT. All right, PPT, Populous. I've covered this several times, and it's back. It's back on my list. Looks like it is trending upwards, although the long-term trend kind of suggests it looks like it's just going sideways, because the most it's ever been is up here, and so it looks like it's just peaking out almost at the same spot, but it has a chance to increase in price. This is one I'm going to have to take a look in the last 3 days, because it's been here. It's been on my list here several times, and it keeps trending up. And it looks like you are making more Bitcoins here, especially if the last 3 days. All right, so it is trending up. You are making more Bitcoins. The question is, how much do you want to risk having your Bitcoins in there? Because my feelings on all, and this is what, an ERC20 token? Yeah, so this is another ERC20 token. I think this is just a last pump. 20 tokens seem to be doing this, and I don't know what the good news is. I think enforcement action will be taken against all these ERC20 tokens. If you want to know the value of your Populous, try to sell Populous to a local Ethereum meeting and see if you can get anybody to buy it, either cash or Ethereum. I doubt you'll get anybody to buy it. So this is a coin. Most of the ERC20 tokens are only useful on the exchanges only. They have no value outside of the exchanges. And when your securities will be delisted from all the exchanges and you have nothing left but Ether Delta, but then again, who would in their right mind offer for this ERC20 token, because they know they can't cash out of it? So this is just, I think, a last pump before everyone basically dumps and gets out of these ERC20 tokens. QTIM, we'll take a look at QTIM. How do you spell QTIM? QTUM. QTUM. QTIM. I'm not sure what the deal is with QTIM, but we'll take a look. It is just a regular coin. Looks like it's not mineable. Maybe it's a proof of stake. So we'll see. Yeah, QTIM is not a good investment. It's trending down. It's a Bitcoin taker. It doesn't make you Bitcoin. It takes Bitcoin away from you. This is bad. This is bad. I would stay away from this. So I'm not even going to look at the 3 day. It just looks bad. Okay, QTIM, and then what's that? GNO, Genosis. I think it's Genosis. GNO, Genosis. I remember when this first came out, it was hot. It was so hot, like people were buying this up. Let's see how this chart looks. I think I've seen this over and over again, but we'll see it again. Yeah, Genosis is a bad investment. This one's a loser. This one's gonna, and again, it's an ERC20 token, and it's probably pumping. It's pumping in US dollar value, but in Bitcoin value, it's a loser. This is this is bad. I would stay away from this one. This is horrible. Okay, Decred's on the list here again. Let's take a look. BCR for Decred. All right, let's take a look here on Decred. It doesn't look that good. Since the summer, it's been downtrending. I don't know. I wouldn't risk my Bitcoins. If you look at it over here, we haven't really made any Bitcoin. It started at this area right here at 4,000. Was it 4,000 satoshis or 4 million? 400,000 satoshis. And yeah, you end up with about 400,000 satoshis. So it's not a Bitcoin maker, that's for sure. Okay, and then next is Waves. We'll take a look at Waves. Carry on vaping. How are you doing? Welcome to the live chat. BCX just appeared on Binance. Wow. Well, let me see. BCX. Let's have a look. Bitcoin. Oh, that's not in here yet. I can't take a look at the chart. What do I think? I know it's a fork. Let me see. Where am I on Waves? I'm on Waves right now. I know it's a fork of Bitcoin. I would say wait. It's just another fork. We talked a little bit about it in my I think it was 2 or 3 days ago. So I know it's supposed to be forked. So I have no opinion right now. All I have to say is, like, if it's like any other fork, it's probably not worth trying to trade just yet until it actually has a main chain which you can actually transact on. So Waves is pumping. Waves is pumping, but I'm not sure if it's going to break this downward trend line that you see right here. See, it's trending downwards. So overall, I don't think this is another one that's probably the SEC is going to take enforcement action. Waves is a competitor to Ethereum that does the same thing. It makes its ERC20 or whatever it makes its token. So yeah, I don't think this is a good. I don't think this is good. It's not a Bitcoin maker. Not a lot. It makes a lot of Bitcoin for you. It's very rare to get an altcoin that will make a lot of Bitcoin for you. Doge. Oh, Doge is, everyone loves Doge. Unfortunately, Doge is not doesn't make Bitcoin for you, unfortunately. Okay, let's take a look at the Doge chart. Doge is not a Bitcoin maker. I mean, it has a lot of peaks and valleys. It has a lot of pump. It has its pump and dump. It may even I don't think it even has a halvening. Um, but for whatever reason, it has its pumps and it has its dumps, and it continues to looks like it's on a downtrend. So it tells me that the price Bitcoin is outperforming Doge overall. Um, wow. So, anyways, I don't think this is a good investment. But if you want to risk your Bitcoin and wait for the next pump, go ahead. I think you're wasting your time and your money. So here we go. Yeah, Ardor. Here comes Ardor again. Ardor. All right, let's go over Ardor real quick. Days, it has made more Bitcoin for you, but overall, I don't know if you made out, like, if you look at this since the left side of the chart and the right side of the chart, you end up at the same amount of Bitcoin. So I don't think this is a Bitcoin maker. I will take a look at the last 3 days because it's kind of moved. It's been on my list several times. And the last 3 days, yes, you made more Bitcoins. Congratulations if you have Ardor. Now you may want to consider exiting and getting more Bitcoin as you can, because most of these altcoins aren't worth anything. They don't do anything. I don't know what problems they solve. And are they liquid? Like, can you cash out of this? And what is this? This is on the Next network. And it's probably one of those things where it's a token. It is a token. And I don't know what they're doing. Most likely they're considered as a security. So this could be just to pump it up. And everyone's, I honestly don't understand why these tokenized assets here are pumping. I think a lot of people must think that SEC is not going to take any enforcement action. They don't have the time or the resources, so people can just keep on going and party on, which I think is not the case. Like I said, ERC20 tokens are ERC20 tokens, or any tokenized asset on the Next platform, on the Waves platform. It's either an exit ICO or an exit, or a charity. You're just giving money away. That's all you're doing. And I don't think these. And what's going to happen when these tokens get delisted? What are you going to do? I mean, I guess you can go outside the U.S. and just use a VPN if you want to. But if you want to play that game, go ahead. But it seems like you're taking the long route around to make more Bitcoin, when you can just go ahead and just buy the Bitcoins and probably make out more money. I think you'll make out more money in the long run, just holding on to Bitcoin. Okay, let's have a next one. LB library credits. We'll take a look. Library credits, BAT tokens, and Stratus are next. LBC. Okay, library credits. I went over this. I think I said this is a losing. Oh yeah, this is a losing. This is a loser. This one's a loser. You're not gonna make more Bitcoins. Okay, let's just be honest here. You're not gonna make more Bitcoins on this. This is a loser. All right, so I'm not even gonna go back into it too much. BAT, basic attention. This is another one that's a loser, I think. What I could tell, if I'm just looking at the chart compared to the price of Bitcoin, this is also another ERC20 token. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, this is another loser. This is not going to make you any more Bitcoin. Although the price in fiat currency is going up, but the price of Bitcoin is going down. This is a loser. Let's have another look on Stratus. Here. What is it? STRAT. STRAT. Okay, Stratus. Symbol STRAT. Street rat. If you want to remember how to spell it, ST street and then RAT rat, street rat. So street rat. Oh goodness, this looks like an Ethereum chart. You're just seeing a pump during the summer, and then you're seeing a long downtrend. And here's the crazy thing: is we are in a bull market, and yet this thing cannot really. This one's not a Bitcoin maker. It was during the summer, but since the summer, it has been going down because Bitcoin's been outperforming Stratus. But if you want to risk your Bitcoin and tie your Bitcoins up in the Stratus token, the Stratus coin here, and miss out on big moves on Bitcoin, be my guest. This is probably not going to be a Bitcoin maker. I don't think it is. Flooded machine. You want me to look at AMP? Scenario. Let's have a look at scenario. This is another token? Let me see on what platform. On the Omni platform. Yeah, this is not a Bitcoin maker. It looks like it has its pumps and dumps. Obviously, you can see these weird, peaks and valleys in a long period of time. But overall, if you look at it, where it starts, where it ends up, it's about the same. So all these movement and prices are nothing but pump and dumps. They're not long-term holders. They don't believe in the project. Nothing. They just want your Bitcoin. Have another look at what game credits. Game credits, ticker symbol GAME. Wow. Well, this is a typical altcoin that had a pump during the summer. Since the summer, it is trending downwards, and I don't think this is a Bitcoin maker. If you want, you could, tie your Bitcoin up in this altcoin and just wait for the next pump. But I think you're gonna have an opportunity cost lost by being in this altcoin, while Bitcoin's probably gonna start going up in price. So not a good. This is not a Bitcoin maker. All right, so BHC. You want me to take a look at BHC? BCH or BCH, right? Yeah, BCH, which is Bitcoin Cash. Let's have a look at Bitcoin Cash real quick. Yeah, this is not a Bitcoin maker either. If you look at where it starts and where it is now, if you bought into it, I mean, if you got it free, this is a fork of Bitcoin, which I actually have. I have Bitcoin Cash. I've never traded it. I have no one's, put it this way, no one's come to me and said, hey, I like to buy some Bitcoin Cash from you. No one's come up to me and said that. There's no demand. Their transactions are very low. They're comparable to Dash and Litecoin and Monero. Comparable to that, I mean, in the tens of 20,000, maybe 40,000. If you compare it to Bitcoin and Ethereum, I mean, Ethereum does, I think, is has more value than Bitcoin Cash because there's more transactions on the Ethereum network, mainly because of the ERC20 tokens, right? But you know, there's no, I think there's no value in Bitcoin Cash, and I own some, but I just haven't had the need to use it. I guess if I ever need to buy coffee, I can. Ty Michelle Knight, or Tia Michelle Knight. I've already went over IOTA. IOTA is a loser. It does not make any more Bitcoin. It's not a Bitcoin maker. So, and I would stay away from it because I do believe it's not a Bitcoin maker, right? And plus the fake news about Microsoft partnership is the only thing that drove up the price. Now there's a lot of bag holders. The only thing that's moving the price is exaggerated news. That's all it has. It doesn't actually do anything. All right, so let's go over live coin cap, live live coin watch. Sorry, and then I'll finally get over to a Bitcoin chart analysis. All right, I'm just waiting for it to load. All right, so all right, I'll give you the 30-day return. All right, 30-day return on some of these altcoins. I'll try to name off some high ones, but I'll go over Bitcoin first. 160% 30-day return. 141% on Ethereum. Bitcoin Cash, okay, just to give you an idea, only 6% 30-day return. So definitely a lot of coins have outperformed it, even though it's up to what, almost $2,000. Let's have a look here. Ripple, 185% return. Litecoin, 412% return. Wow. I agree. It's made a great return in fiat value. Now these prices are in fiat value. I mean, yes, you made money in IOTA, but what do you got to do? You got to cash it out. Probably what, Ethereum or Bitcoin or Litecoin. So, but 636% return, 30-day return. 175 on Dash, 185 on Monero, NEM, 205%, EOS, 558%, Cardano, 442% on a 30-day return. Let's try it. Let's just show the big numbers here. 421% return, 30 days. Populous, 353% return in 30 days. Waves, 254% return. Tron, 695% return in 30 days. Ardor, 364% return in 30 days. Stratus, 214% in 30 days. You got to keep in mind, it's hard on these lower cap markets to get you can't scale your profits. So you could turn $100 into maybe 10,000. Well, you could turn $100 into $1,000, but you can't turn $1 million into $10 million on these lower market caps. You can't do that. All right, you're going to crash the market when you cash out. Mona coin, 377% return. NEX, and I'm sorry, NXT next, 1,019% return in 30 days. BitShares, 239% return in 30 days. Let's try to go over. Even Steam, 109% return in 30 days. Veritasium, 224% return in 30 days. Decred, 136% return in 30 days. Like it's hard not to make money in 30 days. 30 days ago, you could just be blind and deaf. Just throw a dart on an altcoin machine or spin the wheel, and you could probably make money. 105% return. Augur. Dogecoin, 221% return. Wow. Look at it, Einsteinium for no reason. 2,662% return. Let's see any other big ones. Sentiment Network, SAN, 159% return, and Power Ledger, 342% return. Jeez. All right. Well, that was fun. Let me go over the mempool real quick. All right. So looks like the fees are in this purple area, which is 2 to 300. So you're looking at a fee structure of 2 to 300 satoshis per byte. It looks more like you have to be in the 300 satoshis per byte to really get into these fees here. So, but right now, I think if you're over 200 to 300, in between there, you'll get your transactions into the next block. So it looks like 132 transactions in the mempool, and it just keeps going that way. It's amazing. If you want to take a look at it right there. So yeah, mempool is full. And this is probably why a lot of altcoins are booming, because people are transferring out of these altcoins as a value transfer. That's about it. I don't think they really have any other use case. Okay, let's look at trade block. All right, trade block, it says 41,000 transactions in the mempool. So it looks like it is getting lowered. I'm trying to, let me see here. I'm try to smaller. Let me try to refresh this here. It's just freezing on me now. Well, that's what it says right now. Sorry. All right. Well, let me just go to Coin Wisdom now. All right, here we go. Okay, we're going to Bitcoin Wisdom. Long silence. All right, so let's go back to the weekly here. All right, on the weekly, it looks all right. I mean, it's still trending up, still going. It's down a little bit, but still $1,600. Let's have a go at the weekly here, or I'm sorry, the hourly. Let's draw some simple lines. All it is. drawing some simple lines. So let me see here. Put up here. Let's have a look. I'm just trying to match up the lines. There we go. I don't know why this line didn't stay up here, but I'll put a line up here. Seems to be following this triangle. Still following this triangle. And let's see some key areas that it needs to break to go up further. Break these key areas. So this key area right here. Right there, okay. And then let's have a look at some support areas. Nope, that's not it. Let me see here. All right, that support area. And that support area. Zoom in here. And then move this over just a little bit. So look here. All right, so give you some time frames. Let's see here. The 14th. So now until the 14th, which is right now anyway. Let me see what time in the 14th. Let me see, 8 p.m. So 8 p.m. the 14th. You have a time limit here, either to break up, break down from now until 8 p.m. But these are some of the levels that it has to break. Let's see what this price is. I think it needs to break 16,500. After breaking that, it can break this long-term trend line right here. Or not long-term trend line, I'm sorry, this little trend line right here. Then it has to break above this area, which is 17,100, and of course the all-time high of 17,420. So those are some areas to look for. Supportive areas, other than this trend line right here, some other prices of $15,857, and of course the low of $15,498. So hey Jacob TS, how you doing? Okay, you want to know the clues to the pot of gold? I think yesterday I had the 8th clue. You have to go to my previous episodes to get the rest of the clues of the 24-word mnemonic seeds. I've only given away 8. I do have an encrypted private key. If you can scan the encrypted private key, that one needs a password, and there is no clue for that. The only clue is it's about yellow fever for you, and I have a QR code that will take you to his channel. Other than that, there's no clue for the encrypted private key, but the clue for the 24-word mnemonic seed is in my previous episodes. All right, let me take away all these lines now, because I think they're not going to help as I go into the longer time frame. Let's go at 12. Okay, so on the 12-hour, the price is teetering on this moving average. So I think we could be at a critical point here on the 12-hour, from what I'm seeing, where it might actually break below the 10-period moving average right here, this moving average. So if it's getting really close, it could either do two things. It could either break down, or it could bounce up. So it's hard to say. If it breaks up, then of course we're going to make all-time highs. If it breaks down, looks like we're headed to almost $14,000, very close to $14,000 is the support area. So I'm just kind of giving you different scenarios. Hey, Pisces Trade Rules 373, how you doing? You made it just in time. Just in time for the chart analysis. I know this is what everybody waits for. All right, so that's on the 12-day. On 1 day, it is still bullish. Looks like it's just consolidating, and it is above this moving average. And the price, as long as the spot price is above this moving average, the chances of the price going up in the future is most likely. But if it does break down, here are some areas of support on this moving average here, which is about $12,000. And then let's have a look at the 3-day real quick. 3-day, well, here you go. Here's the confluence between the 12-hour and the 3-day is the support for the short-term moving average is at $14,000. There is a gap here. And so if there's two options here, the price has to go up, and then this moving average will move up closer to the bottom of this candlestick, or this has to come down and either make a wick or the body candle or a wick has to come close to this moving average, and then maybe it'll bounce up, or it'll break down. And then what is this? This is 9,025. So 9,025 as a support on this longer term average. I think it's either 20 or 25 period estimated moving average. So there's a couple scenarios here. So far, all I know is that if the spot price is higher than the moving average, probably a good chance the price will continue to go up. And then the weekly, it looks good. Weekly looks good. It trumps all other time analysis. But the RSI always is showing. It always seems to be showing. The question is, if it is overbought, how much will it go down? Well, if it does go down, let's have a look at the short-term moving average. Short-term moving average is about 11,000 and somewhere around there, very close to 12,000. Down in the price, it could be right there is a good support. Other than that, let me see, the other support of this moving average is about $6,400. But I doubt it'll do that. I doubt it'll go that far down, but you never know. Right now, the spot price is moving higher than the average, so that usually indicates more going up. So that's what I have. Well, thank you, Pisces Trades Rule 373 for watching the whole show. But anyways, you made it just in time for the chart analysis. So, but of course, you can always watch it after the live stream. Thank you for showing up. Appreciate it. So, anyways, hopefully you'll watch the whole thing. Sorry about that. I was just making a point. You made it in time for the chart analysis. That's all. Anyways, let me close this out. I'm almost at the end of my live stream here. Here's the meme if you wanted to see it. They fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. This is in regards to IOTA. Cracking. There might be some cracking. When I get the live feed from the Bitcoin Wisdom, sometimes the sound cracks. Perhaps that might be possible. But here's the meme for today. They fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. This is in regards to IOTA not having a partnership with Microsoft, and yet IOTA has gone up in price and in Bitcoin value. So if you have any IOTA, you probably want to get yourself more Bitcoin and dump IOTA, or even look for an exit relatively soon. Anyways, I'd like to thank everybody in the chat. I know this is a long live stream, but why not? It's a late night and something you can listen to all day and enjoy. So Pisces Traits Rule 373, thank you. Q Burrow, I appreciate it. August Insua, Jacob TS, Fud Machine, Tia Michelle Knight, Carry On Vaping. Let me see here. Who else was in here? AcU5. My name is Craig Grant. This is my Bitcoin wallet. Appreciate you being in the chat. Igor Goldabin. I always call you Igor Goldabin, but I know your name's Igor Goldabin. Let me see who else was in here. The Imaginary Globe, Crypto Cotter, Client Shizbig, or Client Shiz Shib Zig, Andy Anderson, Marty Wilkinson, Crypto Cartel, Buy Bitcoin. Let's see who else was in the chat. Brian Taylor, Free Skillshare Media, John Doe, X Game Is, let me see who else was in the chat. Andre Barnwell, 21 Million Club, Brian McLaughlin, Julie G, and let me see. I believe that's it. And Dual Overhead Camness. I know you're in there somewhere. I think I saw you in there. Yeah, Dual Overhead Camness. Well, thank you very much for all coming here. Appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed the live stream as much as I did with you. Let me see. All right. So anyways, feel free to like, dislike, leave a comment after the live stream, or even do a video response. Until next time, everyone, bye-bye.